Hello, this is the City Hall, and if you go down to those doors over there, you will find images of jobs that made Norwich. I mean, look, you got breweries all over Norwich, you know, but this here is significant. This is Boulton Paul's, and they also did these things, aeroplanes, and I want to focus on them today because they have a bit of a helping hand with Norwich City, and I want to learn about them. What are they? What did they do? Where did they start? So that's what we're going to do today. It all began on this street here, which was originally Cocker Street, but is now known as Little London Street. And in 1792, a man called William Moore had an ironmonger's shop around here somewhere, probably around the corner, I think, around this side. But it was many years after he died when eventually a man called William Staples Boulton took over the place, became the third owner, I believe, of the business, and renamed it Boulton Paul eventually, with his apprentice, who were 12 years old when he started, by the way, Joseph Paul. And yeah, they formed Boulton Paul right around here somewhere. Eventually they took the business elsewhere and became known for a lot of things, but I'm going to go to one place that will tell me a little bit more of what they did. If there's one place that will teach me about businesses of Norwich, this place. This is the place, the Museum of Norwich, Bridewell. Fascinating building, really. It used to be a prison at one point, you know, but now it's a museum full of history. So here's some amazing things that's made in Norwich. Look at all these things. However, you know, this thing here is an ice box, and that was apparently made by Boulton Paul. Look at that, 1940s. Had a wooden case, 2 shelves. There they are. That's it being built, refrigerator, and in 1948, look. But it was this thing that put Boulton Paul on the map, a Sopwith camel during the First World War. Look at that, amazing. That wasn't all Boulton Paul did. He also did, look, seem like greenhouses. It's right here. Look at that, there it is, right there. They did, seemed like they did greenhouses, garden machinery, dog kennels, wow, all sorts of things. What I didn't know was, look at this, 1925, Malcolm Campbell set the world speed record after Boulton and Paul made modifications to the car. If I turn over, look at that, there it is. Amazing, look at that. And the car, a model of the car, look at that, there it is. Obviously it looks kind of small to ride in, but wow. Made in Norwich, well, modified in Norwich, I guess, by a company in Norwich anyway. There you are, there's the sign of Boulton Paul. And here is the machine they made wire up. Yeah, apparently, so wire netting was produced by Boulton Paul and Barnard's, which is another, I guess, company. I don't know. I think he might be part of the same company before Boulton took over. So yeah, to fence off crops and animals, pests. Yeah, about thousands of miles of netting were exported from Norwich around the world, apparently, from Yeah, this machine was invented by Charles Barnard in 1844. Amazing. Wow. So this thing up here is a tail, fin and rudder for a P-10 aircraft that was made by Boulton Paul in 1919. Wow, it was an experimental and pioneering design made from high tensile steel. Apparently this thing is a centrifugal water elevator that was made in 1925. It was used to pump water from wells at the rate of 13 gallons per minute. Impressive. Dude, look at this. This is a four-bladed aeroplane propeller for the use with a 250 mile per hour, I guess that is, a Rolls-Royce engine. 1925 was made. I did not know about this. Look at this. Did you know in 1910 they made sledges for Scott's ill-fated Antarctic expedition? What? That's crazy. What? And this is a model of the nest. Look at that. Norwich City's second ground, first proper stadium, I guess. They were then to move to Carrow Road in 1935 on a site owned by Boulton Paul. Cool, isn't it? Look at that. Wow, that was interesting, wasn't it? I think I learnt a bit more about Boulton Paul that I didn't before. Very fascinating. I didn't know they did the things they did. Obviously, I knew they had something to do with aeroplanes, and I'm thinking next I'll be going to where they had a aerodrome, so let's go there. It's going to be a bit of a walk from here though. See you in a minute. Whew, I made it. So I've just walked all the way from the city centre, and now I'm at the far corner of Mousehold Heath, and I'm here because you see this path here. You see how straight it goes all the way down this way. Well, this was an old temporary railway that was put here in the early 20th century. Can't remember when, but it leads to the aerodrome that Boulton and Paul used to test their aircraft. And they brought their on this train down here with them the machinery, the machine parts, things like that. It follows down this way. So if I keep walking, I'll get to the spot where the aerodrome was. Where has that led me to? Well, we'll find out in a second. It has taken me out to here, the old home base and that. So around this area and to where that school is over there, that school playing ground, was where the old aerodrome was. There's nothing left of it now, obviously, except for a few things. I'll show you down this way. Is this a clue or what? So I think there's a lot of old depots around here, and I think some of them were old hangars. Let me try and find some that look sort of match the description. I mean, they look like old hangars, don't they? See? Probably. Who knows? Yeah, it's amazing that anything stood at that place, I tell you. But you know what else is standing? This place. The factory. Yes, the original. I don't know if this is the original, but this is where they eventually did most of the aeroplane stuff and other metal works. People did lose their lives, sadly, during the war in this place. I think there were 2 buildings here. This is the last one that stands. They moved the business to Wolverhampton, you know, the aeroplanes and stuff. the manufacturing stuff, that was over there now. And yeah, unfortunately this place closed down, I think 1999. And you know, I like to think that though the aeroplanes were cool and all that, their real legacy was this place, Carrow Road. So originally Carrow Road was just a plot of land belonging to Boulton Paul. It was a football pitch for their company's football team. When Norwich were looking for a new home after the nest was pretty much collapsing and overcrowded, they ended up here, and Boulton Paul allowed them to build a ground here. Originally it was just earthwork around here, around towards the river stand there is, and one stand, and then obviously eventually we got this amazing thing. I'm so thankful of this place because, you know, obviously if we didn't have them we wouldn't have this place, and I think that's a true test of their legacy. They may not build airplanes anymore, but we should thank them, because I would never be a Norwich fan if they didn't move here. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, click that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.